Good morning, class. Are you all doing fine today? That's good to hear. And if that's the case, let's start our day with a prayer. Stand up, everybody. Amen. You may now sit. To proceed our class, let me first introduce myself. I am Teacher Mary Roan, your teacher for today's class. Are you all excited to learn new things? Wow, sounds great. So, let's start our lesson. But before that, I would like to ask you a question. You can see everything around us has a name, right? Good. And with that, we are going to talk about naming words or nouns. Our lesson for today is all about nouns. We will define what is nouns. We will enumerate the different types of nouns. And lastly, we will talk about the functions of nouns. So, let's start. So class, what is noun? Noun is defined as a word or a noun used to identify a person, a place, an object, and many more. For example, take a look at this picture. As you observe, there's a lot of noun. For example, a person, there's a boy, or if that boy has a name, or should we say the name of the boy is Mark, that's a noun. For example, a place. The place in the picture is soccer field. That's a noun. And for the object, there's a ball. So, ball is a noun, right? Okay. So as we continue understanding the different types of nouns and what are they used for, will help you to put them in the sentence correctly, right? Good. So here are the types of nouns. The common nouns, the proper nouns, the count nouns, the non-count nouns, concrete nouns, abstract nouns, and lastly, the collective nouns. So first, what is common nouns? Common nouns are general or everyday names. The second one is a proper nouns. A proper nouns are a particular or specific names. Next one is a count noun. Count noun can be counted using numbers, while non-count nouns cannot be. For example, count nouns. Dog, dogs. So, it can be counted using numbers. Brush, brushes. Man, men. For example of non-count, tea, it can be counted. Water, it can't be counted. Rice, it can't be counted. Are we all clear, students? In specific class, count, answer a question, how many? While non-count, answer a question, how much? Alright, so let's proceed to concrete nouns. Concrete nouns are perceived by senses. They are all the names of what you can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. While the abstract nouns are intangible, they cannot be perceived by any senses. The abstract noun can be events, ideas, states of minds, and qualities. For example, a dog. A dog is an example of concrete nouns. Why? Because we can touch it, right, students? Very good. Another example, a biscuit. A biscuit is an example of concrete nouns because we can taste it. Right, everybody? That's good. Another example, a perfume. A perfume is another example of concrete nouns because we can smell it, right? Very good, students. For example, love. That's an example of abstract nouns because we can taste it, we can smell it, we can touch it, and we can't use our senses, right? So, love is an example of abstract noun. Another, angry, is an example of abstract noun. Hope is an example of abstract noun. Okay, so let's proceed to the next one. The collective nouns. Collective nouns are names used for groups of people, places, objects, and animals. For example, in a group of people, a crowd of people, a team of footballers, a gang boys, an army of soldiers. That's an example of group of people. Alright, so for example of the group of object. Example, a bunch of grapes. That's an example of a group of object. Another, a pile of books. That's also an example of group of object, right? Okay, so can you give me another example, class? Okay, a bouquet of flowers. That's right. A bouquet of flowers is another example of a group of object. Thank you so much. And another, what? A series of movies. Very good. That's another example of a group of objects. Thank you. Thank you so much. Alright, class. So, another example of a group of plays. Okay, let me first give an example. A range of mountains, right? A row of cottages. That's an example of a group of plays, right, class? Okay, so can you give me another example of a group of plays? Okay, a chain of islands. Alright, that's an example of a group of plays. Thank you so much. Another example. What? A field of flowers. Okay. A field of flowers is another example of a group of plays. Thank you so much, the two of you. Thank you. Thank you so much for participating, class. Alright, so let's proceed to a group of animals. Okay, class? So let me first give an example. For example, a herd of goats. That's an example of a group of animals, right? Okay. Another example, a pride of lions. That's an example of a group of animals. Okay, can you give me another example? What? A school of fish? Okay, that's an example of a group of animals. A school of fish. Thank you so much. You may now sit. Okay. Another example. What? A prickle of hedgehogs. Okay, that's an example of a group of animals. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so that's a group of animals. That's an example of group of animals. Okay, class. So let's proceed to the different function of nouns. So let's begin with the noun function as a subject. A noun function as a subject if it's one being described or being talked about in the sentence. For example, the students went on a field trip. Another, Peter and John are joining the debate. Alright? So, students, Peter and John are nouns that function the subject. Alright, so let's proceed to the next one, which is the subject complement. Okay, a noun function as a subject complements if it's complete the meaning of a predicate that comes after the linking verb. Right, for example, Andrew is a musician. Musician is a noun that complements Andrew, and it comes after the linking verb is. Another example, grade 7 students were all contest winners. Alright? The winners complements the students, and it comes after the linking verb were. Okay, class. So let's proceed to the next one, which is a direct object. A noun function as a direct object if it receives the action in the sentences and answer the questions what, who, and whom. So, for example, Sarah slapped Luke yesterday at the hallway. Okay, so Luke received the action slap, therefore Luke function as a direct object. Right? Okay. Next one is Matthew composed a song. Song receive an action which is the composed. Therefore, song function as a direct object. Okay, class. So let's proceed to the next one, which is the indirect object. A noun function as an indirect object if it's answer the question to whom, to what, or for whom, or for what. It does not receive the action in the sentences. Okay, class. For example, Mark sent his mother a package. To whom did Mark send a package? Okay, that's correct. Mother. Therefore, mother function as an indirect object. Got it, class? Okay. Another example. The orphans wrote their donors thank you letters. To whom did the orphans write their thank you letters? What? Okay, to donors. Thank you. Okay, so therefore, donors function as an indirect object. Okay. Okay, class. Let's proceed to the next one, which is a positive. A noun function as an appositive, it gives details about another noun and it encloses in commas. Okay, understood? Example: my hometown, Manchester, is known for its football team. Okay. So, Manchester gives details about hometown. Therefore, Manchester function as an appositive. Okay? Alright. Another example. The principal, Mr. Johnson, is sick. Okay. Mr. Johnson gives detail about principal. Therefore, Mr. Johnson function as an appositive. Understand, everybody? Okay. Okay, class. So let's proceed to the next one, which is a function object of the preposition. A noun function as an object of the preposition when it follows a preposition. Okay. Okay, class. For example, John left his car keys on the table. Table is a noun that comes after the preposition on. Therefore, it functions as an object of the preposition. Okay? Another example. You can get to the beach the quickest way by speedboat. Okay. Beach is a noun that comes after the preposition to. And speedboat is a noun that comes after the preposition by. Therefore, it functions as an object of the preposition. Okay, class? Alright. Okay, class. Lastly, the noun function as a direct address. A noun function as a direct object if it used when speaking directly to a person or if it gives people names and titles set off by commas. Okay? For example, Thomas, kindly fix your bed before you leave your room. I don't know, Grandma, if I can make it to your party. Thomas and Grandma both function as a direct object. Okay, class? That's it for today, class. I hope you learned something. This is Teacher Mary saying bye-bye for now and see you in our next lesson. Happy learning, everyone!